All right, and welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. If you're not this already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Awesome day in the trading room today. By the way, love these FOMC days. A lot of people take them off. I really like trading them personally. If you have a set of rules, they can be very profitable. And they were for us in active trader. Loving it in the live day trading room lately. Anyways, let's get into it here today. So what is the big thing I talked about yesterday? One of the big points I hammered on. Volatility, right? Event vol. Got to learn this. If you're not going to learn it, you're going to lose money. VIX at 18. Ahead of jobs, ahead of Microsoft, AMD, FOMC, and the QRA. What does that mean? It means market participants are heavily hedged, right? We also have Meta after the bell today. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes when they report. We got Apple, Amazon as well, and we have Intel, I think, today too. But Apple, Amazon tomorrow. It's going to be really hard. What does this mean? VIX at 18. It's going to be really hard for the market to sell off unless you get like an Armageddon type situation. Everything goes wrong, disaster, Murphy's Law. And even then, downside is limited because market participants are already hedged. This is what we call event volatility, right? Volatility events that the market has to be prepared for. Any fund manager worth their weight is going to have hedges. They're going to be short via long puts or short calls, something of that nature. Well, what happens when Yellen doubles down on treasury buybacks? You get a massive rally here today. Over 100 and I believe it was 140 points off the lows at one point here today. NASDAQ, almost 1,000 points. I think it was 848 was the grand total by the end of the day here. Absolute monster move here. I thought we would see a little bit more tough price action. I talked about this. I made it very clear, though, we should have more legs on this relief rally because we haven't really even had one. But very good move here. S&P cash up 1.6. Market's closing about 3 minutes here. Triple Q's up whopping 3% today. So massive move here. Congratulations to everybody who stayed long and stayed away from the fear, uncertainty, doubt. I couldn't tell you how many accounts. Oh, the QRA is actually bearish. Oh, this is actually a hawkish FOMC. Get out of the way. Forget you. Just trade the charts. Forget that stuff. Higher lows, right? Microsoft bouncing very nicely. Still down on the day, but we got down to 390, I think, post market, and then after the conference call, it really shot up. And same time that the NQ futures open, big gap and go here, and just a monster rally really across the board. I thought there'd be a little bit more pressure in semiconductors towards the end of the day. IWM got pulled in two directions here. It did make new 52-week highs. Again, that's that end of month flow I talked about, right? Up big for the month. And you saw it, right? Big outperformance here. Look at the intraday around 2:30, 2 o'clock. Way outperformed the spiders. It did get reined back in very hard. Why is that? Definite Gamma Boy impact here. So 226, 225, hot calls. And it is getting reined back in, even 223. This is not live. This is from like 10 minutes ago. But you can see that level nonetheless. And it is coming back in off that. So kind of getting pulled in two directions there. But still, you saw that end of month flow. Dow, also big month. And it's not far from all-time highs. Only a couple hundred points now. Other sectors, XHB, new all-time high, new all-time closing high. VNQ, 52-week highs. KRE, 52-week highs. KBE, 52-week highs. Dow Transports, not very far off of 52-week highs. Big rally here across the board. And bottom line, I've been saying this for 5 to 6 days now. If you're above 5,500, that is bull control. So we now have bulls back in control here. Gap and go. And this is kind of one of those things, right? They're not going to give you a chance to get into the rally, especially retail, because retail, all they care about is options. If you're a futures trader, like I am, you're doing pretty well. But a lot of people only trade options, and boom, they gap it up. You don't get a chance to get in. We go sideways all day. If you try to jump on here and FOMO in, you're just getting burned out with call premium. And if you jumped on here, then you really got roasted here. We just got a little hot in the hourly kind of RSIs, but I could have told you we were going to 55.50. In fact, I did tell you that this morning. Can you stomach it? That was 5 hours ago. And the Gamma Boys did not disappoint here. So we got right up into that area. That was the high of the day. We did also, for what it's worth, market bell right there. So market's closing here 55.20. I'm interested to see, does the IWM pump up a little bit after the close? Just based off of that kind of gamma. But either way, 55.20, 55.22 close. What was I going to say? Spiders. Technically, we did fill this gap. If I'm not mistaken, 53.72. Is that different on the daily? So it's... Okay, so maybe I misread that. So that was the low. So, okay, so I take that back. We did not fill the gap. That's the only... So here's the only thing bears have right now. We didn't fill that gap. You guys might think that doesn't matter. It definitely matters. As a bull, you want that gap to fill. We can easily do it tomorrow. But the fact that we didn't fill it does leave a little bit of a cliffhanger there. Always prefer those gaps to get filled, as it does indicate a strength in the trend. That said, we are above that previous resistance. We back tested with a higher low. So that is now the level, and bulls have regained control. You've also trapped shorts too, right? Anybody who was short this whole week and everybody was looking for a breakdown, they're trapped here. SMH very much is in agreement with that. They pushed it down really hard yesterday. I told you guys, don't look for a lot of downside here in the semis, and it just outside move up, wiping out all those sellers. So I do like the semis. That was also a key that, from this morning, I said to the trading room, like, SMH is up 6%. We're probably not going to retrace. So we're probably, that was the only thing I was worried about this morning is, are we going to gap and crap? And I'm sure a lot of people were thinking the same thing. That's probably why we rallied, because they don't give you a chance to buy in. Everybody was looking for that dip to buy, didn't come. But SMH seeing the strength there. Remember, it's a semiconductor rally. It's a semiconductor pullback. So if the semiconductors bounce, whole market's going to bounce. NVIDIA up big, 13% gain. See ya. See you later. AMD obviously helping the market out a lot, up 4.4. A lot of people are bearish AMD because of this daily candle. I think it's just fine. I think AMD is just fine here, and I actually think it can recover. I think the lows are probably in on that. But very good day there. Broadcom also up 12%, big outside move up. But again, bottom line, without getting rambling too much, learn event volatility. It matters a lot. It's why today happened. It has nothing to do with your macro. It's got nothing to do with the yield curve. It's got nothing to do with bonds. It's got nothing to do with Powell. It's all about positioning and hedging when it comes into these events. So that's why I said specifically yesterday, if you were a bear, yeah, you're happy the market's down, but you don't want... If anything, you want us to just be like lazily drifting up into 55. Because then, let's say if we just did this yesterday, then they could just smash it, right? But you're down. You had max downside, max fear at the lows. It's going to be conducive for upside usually. Let's take a look at Meta. And I'll put our after hours on here. So nothing yet from it. I think it's 4:05. It's scheduled to report, so we'll see. We'll check back in a minute. But either way, very good action here. Triple Qs. I want to look at the weekly. So again, very good trend line here. It's getting defended. Keep it simple. 20 MA weekly is holding. Same thing on the spiders, although it's above the 20 MA, and that trend line is holding there after a little slice. So good price action. We talked about the ES. There it is. NQ, very nice outside move. There is some resistance up here at 19.6 to 19.7. I think we could easily go there tomorrow. And then I think we'll probably back off a little bit. Let's take a look at Meta. Nothing there. That should be in a minute there, but very good move here for the markets. Qs, 50 MA right here. It is minor, right? We are parallel to price, so it's minor, but it's still a psychological level. And then you've got the gap up there. I think, 478 or so was a level I had penciled in as well. So just some levels to watch there. IWM, it's getting a little uptick after hours. So you see as that GEX unwinds, we kind of just were able to bounce back up there. Diamond, again, close to all-time highs. Up just 28 basis points, but it doesn't matter. If the Qs are up 3%, that's good. Qs leading, Russell leading, nothing, no problems. Come on, Zuck. 40. Let's see if they do this on time here. We got 5 seconds. There we go. Okay, Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg hitting 5 bills. That's up here. Let's take a look at NQ. 19.6. I may have to put it in order here, guys. I'm doing this live. So we have the NQ in the trading room, and we're very happy right now. I just gave you guys that level in real time. That is the target there. I may have to put in an order on one of my other screens here. I'm doing this in real time, guys, so. Very nice move. Let's take a look here. So NQ is now, oh, wow, look at that, 510. NQ is up just a cool 3.7. 3.7%. So, all right, I'm trying to do this video here. I'm gonna get it done, I promise. All right, so Meta here, yeah, 510, very good move. Let's just take a look at Meta. Daily, we're above all that. There's a gap up there. Wow, amazing price action here. Amazing rally. And so if Meta's delivering, again, more hedges getting ripped off. Again, event volatility, it matters. It definitely matters. Very good move there for the NQ after hours. So again, without getting too sidetracked, we got to the Dow. Let's get to the SMH. Again, necktie area, that's a magnet. So right around 256 to 262. Well, really, I mean, you could say like 258 just to be general, but 50 MA, 20 MA. If we got up there, that would be major resistance here in the short term. But I do think we can retrace up into those levels. You know, 50%, there's 255, 256, 262, 618. So those are levels to watch. IGV was kind of quiet today. It just gapped up and went sideways all day, but still at 1.4. Still not above this red bar. So that's a little bit of a minor red flag, but the fact that it never really made new lows, I mean, it kind of did. It's still holding up better than a lot of things, and this pattern is fine. I talked about this also. It needs to consolidate, and it's doing that. So IGV acting well. Transports here, we talked about that a minute ago. Higher high. It did come back in off the highs like everything else by the end of the day, but you're making a new 11-month high on the transports. And again, just throwing it out there, but can you stomach it? That's an ascending triangle. The price action doesn't care about your recession. And if people keep shorting expecting a recession, you know, we can go higher. It's really, that's how it works. That's how bull markets work. Doesn't have to make sense. It's 2-year here backing off again. So the market is pricing in cuts, although we didn't get them today. Notice how I haven't mentioned Powell because it doesn't matter. But it looks like he'll probably save that for Jackson Hole. He'll prep the market for that. 4.2 area, 4.25 is still support here on the 2-year for now. 5s coming back down into the 395 area. We talked about that. And that's where we're sitting right now. Maybe down to, you know, 385 would be your next level. 10-year into 405, right around 395, there's a level. And then the 30s here finally rolling over. I actually don't mind the pattern on TLT daily. It looks like it wants to curl up here. So I can see the yields coming back in a little bit more here. I don't see them going substantially lower, but they can come lower. So in the big picture, I still see this as a big pattern of just yields backing off on the big time frames. But short term, they can still come back in. Let's take a look at Meta here. Yeah, back down to 498 NQ. Still very strong here. All right, XHB, new all-time high, new all-time closing high. Nothing wrong with that. VNQ finished fractionally lower. Looks like it came in by the end of the day with everything, but it did make new 52-week highs. XLF was kind of quiet today. Actually, yeah, it closed down 11 cents. It was up all day and then just end of the day came back in. KRE made new 52-week highs, came back in by the end of the day. Same thing with KBE. But overall, no problems. Broker dealers finished up 0.25%. Then we get on to crude. Big move for crude. So crude continues to kind of buck. It's almost kind of calling the bluff here on the bond market. Yeah, there's lots of war and stuff going on right now, but this has been down the whole time, even though there's been those headlines. But very good level here for crude. Crude quietly having a huge day, up 5%. So I don't know. Perhaps this is kind of the start here. I've taught. This is what I mean when I say yields aren't. I don't think they're going to go down all that much. I'm just interested to see how crude behaves as we get closer to rate cuts. Do commodities start to freak out a little bit with structural inflationary pressures? But good move there for crude. Again, I'm still leaving it alone. Have not touched it. XLE finishing up 0.5%, although it came in off the highs, but nothing awful there. Same thing on XOP and OIH, but OIH finished higher than where it opened. Again, hammering on that little wedge there. OIH looks pretty good. So OIH, oil services, I like that, as you guys know. CCJ up 2.75. Still got to get back above 46 or so and above that 200 MA. And then you can try and retest this trend line. If you can do that, you can negate the head and shoulders pattern. Came up on volume today too, so that's a positive. NM as well, same thing, and it went into the weekly level and it backed off. So it went back into weekly resistance and backed off there. We'll see what that does by the end of the week. NJ, same exact pattern. Nat gas here did nat gas things and it went up to 215 and reversed. It did hold the last kind of technical level around 202, but I'm out of it now. I'm out of my runner, and quick trade there. It's nat gas. I don't even have a level past $2 at this current time. It could hold up still though. It's holding that last technical level that I had penciled in at 202. So we'll see what it does here. It's still very exhausted, but that's what nat gas does. Dollar index down 50 cents today, although it did get a really good bid off the lows earlier. And again, so a little bit of a rollover, looking for a possible higher low here. There is still room for that, but if yields continue to drop, it's going to put pressure on the dollar. We got to talk about the yen too. So dollar yen taking a pretty good hit, but it is into this big trend line. So this is something else we're watching here. And it's gone straight into that too. But dollar index down. Gold at new all-time highs. I think GLD is just off new all-time highs. Yeah, because you got to factor in the contract rolls here. That's not perfectly accurate. But spot gold is at new all-time highs. So good move there. And then silver here getting a nice move up 2%. And it looks like it's going to negate that red bar. So that's a positive. So I definitely like that for silver. Let me just take a look at GDX. I haven't really, yeah, GDX good bid today. SIL pretty good bid today too. So metal's looking all right here. Platinum, again, held that 618. You could have taken that for free and been up 45 points right now. Right into this trend line here. That's a big level for that to get back above. Palladium here, good outside move. Still has a lot of work to do. Copper getting a bid. Again, a lot of things not looking like recession was the trade today, except for the bond market. But even the bond market, the yield curve actually inverted further. So yields were down though. But copper a little bid there. I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. Bitcoin, again, quiet day for Bitcoin, but it did pull back in off the highs still. Again, this is all just chop inside of this channel. No problems really at all. ETH down a little bit here. That looks a little bit softer. But no real problems in the big picture with Bitcoin. Let's take a look here at ES and Q. Are we backing off the highs? Yeah, just a little bit there. I mean, we're really still, I mean, actually, hold on a second. 65, oh, so we made it 900 points off the lows. I mean, we're up 1,000 points, so like we can pull back here a little bit. And it wouldn't hurt anything. Let's see if Meta, yeah, Meta coming back in. Yeah, it's only up, 20 points now in the after hours. What a move here. Let's take a look at good old Intel. Aren't they reporting? Or are they late? Oh no, ARM. There we go. ARM. So ARM's down a little bit. Let's take a look. I bet you Qualcomm's down. Oh, Qualcomm's up. Qualcomm up 10 points. How about Lam Research? Lam Research down a little bit. Nothing major. I think there was one more company. Oh, everybody's favorite, Carvana, with a 150 handle. Okay. So bottom line, above 55 is bull control. And until that breaks, yeah, bulls are in control. Next level is 55.65. I'd prefer to see that gap fill for bulls, though, tomorrow. Like, the sooner the better. That's the best thing the bears have to hang their hat on right now, is that gap didn't fill. But you also, I mean, shorts look really trapped here over the last 4 days. Just massive outside move here, especially in the semis. As long as the semis hold up, the market will hold up. Very good move here. We're still going to get some turbulence. We got Apple tomorrow. We got jobless claims tomorrow. We've got what else? ISM, and then non-farm payrolls on Friday. It's going to be a little bit more minor because Powell already knows what the jobs number is. He factored that into his speech. I promise you he did. So it'll be good for an algo move, but I don't think it's going to like move the market any which way as far as rate cuts or rate cut probabilities. But right now, very good pop here. Meta adding onto the pile of some bear carnage here today. Again, price action, price action, price action. Summer of narrative destruction. You guys know the drill. NQ up 3.25% today. Monster move. And again, event volatility. Learn it. It'll save you a lot of headache. Trust me. Ask me how I know that. Anyways, guys, gonna wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.